Hey everybody, Dan Burrows. Here we are at the Stinger Hive again. Full special guest in today. We had Dr.ColorChip in the training center. We did training in English today, and that was live training, also recorded. That's going to be on YouTube. So we had Tony and we had Adam in from Dr.ColorChip. Why did we have Dr.ColorChip in? Because we don't make Dr.ColorChip. But you know what? We partner with a lot of different companies out there. We partner with a lot of companies that do towels, the rag company, buffers that do flex, rupus, dynabrate. We have to have these things to make the package complete. So one of our goals is to make sure that the offering is so complete that when we have our distributors in, which we have Tim Taylor from Louisiana, and we have Virgil from El Paso, Texas in, who happened to stop in today, surprise guests to be there for the training. So what we did with Dr.ColorChip is, if you notice up front there, we've got a Stinger Dr.ColorChip kit that we combined. Tony and I have been working on this for about 5 years. I think we started drinking on it 5 years ago. We just got sober.
Yeah, we just had that. Yeah, you told me about the NADA email from 4.5 years ago after that first scotch. And I don't know how many bottles later, but we're here.
Yeah, it took, I mean, that was a long, long hangover, guys. Just kidding, sort of. Anyways, but Tony, who is one of the originators of Dr.ColorChip, you've been there since the beginning, right?
No, I haven't. I've been there for about 14 years. Dan McCool founded it in 23 years ago. So I've been there well over half of the tenure of the company. Dan literally invented this in his garage. I call it like the HP story or Amazon. Truly a story where it's a product that was invented in their garage. He worked with chemists, but he then designed the single color kits, and then we started the commercial division. I've been there since the beginning of the commercial division, which is what I started with the company. So our commercial division is about 13, 14 years old. So I've been there since the beginning of that. But Dan's had a lot of success prior to that with the single color kits and selling a lot of those online. So yeah, it's been fun. We've had a lot of fun.
For those of you that don't know, Dr.ColorChip Dan is not Stinger Dan. We're two different people.
Dan
I can only do one job. I can only do one job.
Dan McCool, the founder of Dr.ColorChip.
So you mentioned something funny just now, chemists. So you guys are probably wondering why we don't have Oscar and Bruno and Zach and Connor in here. That's because they're outside right now testing 4 new chemicals. Just a little heads up on that. We'll talk about more of that later in the week. So Adam here is young Adam. He came in with Tony because he uses the Dr.ColorChip kit. Yeah. So
the guru.
Yeah. So they did their training today with the Stinger Dr.ColorChip combination. Like I said, we had Tim Taylor and we got Virgil coming in from El Paso. Tim, you're out of New Orleans. But you do more than just New Orleans. You do quite a few places.
Baton Rouge. I have a store in Baton Rouge, Slidell, which is a New Orleans suburb, Gulfport, and soon to be in the Panhandle of Florida. Yeah, we kind of cover the Gulf Coast right there, and we're proud Stinger distributors.
Yep, and Stinger's your major line that you sell.
Yes.
You also have another business on the side that uses Stinger chemicals in your outsource company as well.
Outsource, yes.
So a lot of Stinger chemical in Tim Taylor's life. So now Virgil has been selling Stinger chemical in El Paso for how long?
We've been doing it for 8 years now.
8 years.
Good years, yes.
And you don't just do El Paso either. You do into New Mexico even, right?
We do New Mexico. We do some over the border into Mexico. We do most of our little corner right there in Texas.
Yeah, so kind of cool to have distributors pop in, have manufacturers that we're partnering in pop in and just do a training like this. So if you didn't see it live, it will be on YouTube as soon as Luis, the genius behind the camera, gets that all ready to pop up there. You can check it out there. You know, one of the interesting things about having a training center is we do a lot of stuff where we talk in front of the class, and we do some different demos like what Tony did today and Adam did today where they're showing the process. And then we do a lot of hands-on stuff. So unfortunately, if you're not here, you can't really touch and do the things that we do in the hands-on. But what we're trying to do is as these evolve, we want to make sure we figure out ways to get everybody out there as much involved as they can. So keep tuning in. Tomorrow is in Spanish. And then Wednesday, Oscar's going to do his business class, which if you haven't seen it, Oscar does an amazing business class. That will be in English and Spanish. So if you want to figure out the times, it's real easy. Just go to the website, stingerchemicals.com, go to the training tab, and you will see the schedule there. And you also will see all the live links. So you can pop in, watch it live if you don't have the chance to watch it live. Like I said, it'll show up on YouTube. Luis is pretty quick about that. He's my genius behind the camera. He's my Wizard of Oz, I like to call him. So check it out, but we sure appreciate everybody tuning in who did today. And if you want to watch it, watch the YouTube video and you'll see exactly what we did today in English, tomorrow in Spanish. Wednesday, both. We're going to do the business class, which is a great one. So this thing's getting a little bigger. We're getting a little better at this. We're not perfect yet. We had a little technical difficulty today, but it's getting better, and it's going to happen every single month. And we got people driving in from all over the place to do this now. But now
You
you
got
can
people
watch it.
flying in too.
Yeah,
Yep.
Absolutely.
we got
Now-
Louisiana,
That was me, El Paso,
way far,
Texas.
yeah. Which, you know, El Paso, Texas. When I'm a Minnesota guy and someone says, "Hey, we should go to El Paso, Texas," I'm like, "Yeah, that's good. We should leave in the morning, and you know, we'll just come back the next day." Well, Texas is not Minnesota. 10-hour drive
12 hours.
12-hour drive.
drive.
in one state. You don't
Texas
have to
Texas is a
leave the
2-day
same state.
state.
Yeah, you're right.
You're probably closer
I'm
than
five,
he is.
I'm 5 hours.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cakewalk coming here.
You're closer than he is for sure.
I have a 2-hour flight from Colorado. It's really quick. You guys should think about that.
Nice.
Yeah, but
So-
you like the layovers.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We love having a good time in the Stinger Hive. Lots more to come. I'm going to do some stuff later this week. We might have the guys in, might have Warren and Fritz in. We'll see, but this stuff all kind of happens off the cuff. So thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you
Adam,
for having us.
Thank
you
you.
for having
Tony,
us. Thank you for
Virgil,
having us.
Tim. That's our group today. Oh, and I'm Dan, but y'all know that already. So thank you, everybody.